Sure. As I was listening to you, it reminded me of, in my own relationship, in my own marriage with Nina, that you haven't met yet, but that you will soon meet, hopefully in the next few days, that prevention was never something that I thought about.
Mm-hmm.
Just got married and then build a plane while flying it, you figure it out. And then you quickly realize that there are certain dynamics that you're not prepared for, that you're not equipped for, that you simply don't have the tools to handle. And our marriage also went through tough times, especially after our firstborn, our daughter was born. It just puts a different stress. It's just a different reality that you enter together. And so I never sought that prevention support that would have definitely helped us in those years. But when we were able to learn how to be able to effectively communicate with one another, how to truly listen to understand, how to not see each other as adversaries. It changed everything in our marriage. It really did. And it helped me to understand that, beyond simple, communication tools and tips, there is a constellation of elements that couples need to learn about in order to thrive. And in our attitudes, in the qualities of our hearts that we manifest towards one another, and in our genuine desire to be able to be on the same team and not, at each other all the time. And so that growth, that learning, and that transformation really helped to cement this notion that, there's a huge need in the world. Everyone that I know is going through some level of challenges in their relationships, in their marriages. And I believe we have a unique perspective to offer. And so that's why I'm so excited, because one, I've experienced the fruit of this transformation myself in my own marriage. And also because I think that we are going to be able to offer something that's a fresh perspective on how to approach marriage and unity. And so I'm so grateful to be able to do this.
What's powerful in what you said was the word teammates, because being on the same team, because as we help couples to be teammates, to be partners, to be friends with each other, they are supportive of each other, and they are working together to create what they want to create. And it's that unity and that partnership between the two of them where they are not unequal, where they are not dominating each other, where they are actually communicating heart to heart, mind to mind, soul to soul, that it creates amazing outcomes. And I find in my marriage with Phil that this process of Acordia has become extraordinary. There is such a lovely flow then in our communications where we can raise anything that's on our minds and hearts. We can share what we're concerned about, what our fears are, what's being triggered from our past in the way of some difficult memory that's affecting the dynamic between the two of us. We can actually explore what it is that's on our minds, on our hearts, on our souls, and share with each other what's going on and agree together on where it is that we want to go next. And having that in our marriage is extraordinary. It just contributes such a wonderful spirit then to the dynamic between the two of us.
Thank you for sharing this. Can you elaborate a little bit? Because many people feel that what you're describing is actually not possible. It's like utopic. Like, how did you even get to that point? Can you share a little bit about the journey, or perhaps an experience from your, this marriage that you had, or perhaps from the past that helped you to learn to be able to create those conditions and that dynamic for for love to be able to flourish in that way without conflict?
Some of it definitely comes from our histories, where he and I both experienced high conflict points in a previous marriage. So we learned, what does it feel like when your stomach gets totally torn up, when you feel disconnected from each other, what it's like to be out of harmony with a partner. And we were committed then, going into this marriage, to find ways to create something new and to create something that didn't trigger all of those negative emotions. On our third date, I was getting ready to speak at a conference about this process of how couples can work together in harmony. And I thought, all right, this is a great way for me to figure out, can he do this with me? Can we be partners with this? So I invited him to be my practice audience and on our third date to listen to my presentation about this process.
How cool.
And he got so excited. It was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for in a marriage partnership. And so we started really studying the tools together and the principles together and started practicing. We began with one of the really tough topics of money before we got married. And we sat and we looked at what are our values? What are the principles that apply to us making a decision about money? What are the things that we are willing to sacrifice? What is it that's important to us if we want to donate money somewhere? And went through that whole process together to learn, could we do this?
Yep.
Could we have these difficult conversations together in harmony? And we were able to do so. And the decisions that we made at that time, before we got married, now still guide us as we make decisions about money and marriage.
So beautiful. You see, Nina and I didn't have that foresight. Things just kind of happened, and then we were left to figure it out on the fly. But there's been beauty in that process too, and I think that many people actually kind of fall in love, build a life together, and then try to figure those things out afterwards. That it's more complicated. But for me, a turning point, I think, in our marriage was, for a long time, I, maybe consciously or subconsciously, was trying to change my wife into fitting perhaps a set of habits or cultural backgrounds or values that I grew up with that helped to serve as a foundation for my well-being.
Right.
And I saw some things that I felt if only she could not do those things, how she would be so much happier. I would be so much happier. And somewhere along the lines, by the grace of God, I stopped trying to change my partner. I started not only not trying to change her, but also focusing on what she does well and the things that I'm grateful for. And the moment that my perspective changed, actually answers came. Through therapy, I realized, okay, my partner has ADHD. And so there are certain things around the home that are easy for me to do that are not so easy for her, right? Because her brain is wired in a different way. And that felt like a confirmation of our efforts. And it really, instead of looking at things from a place of judgment, I was now able to see things through the eyes of compassion and empathy. And it changed everything. And it helped me to also now, based on my practical experience, connect with couples and help them to let go of trying to change your partner and start to truly work as a team, to be able to lean on each other's strengths and to help each other flourish and grow. So I wish I had that foresight beforehand to be able to plan and to think things through. But it came later.
But you're doing learning in action.
Learning
in action is so vital for couples to keep in mind that they are always growing, always learning. They don't have to be perfect at any stage. And we are asking them to open themselves to learn some new skills, and what a blessing that is.
Yeah.
I have a client story for you.
Please.
I'm working with a woman who has been trying for many years to fix or change her husband. What we have realized in the process is how he interprets that is criticism. And so he has now internalized in their marriage that he is not respected, he's not appreciated. He takes every suggestion that he do something as criticism. And the research from the Gottman Institute is telling us that criticism is one of the most damaging, dangerous things for relationships. And so he's now withdrawing, right? That's part of how we respond to criticism. And part of what I have explained to her is the virtue of acceptance is extraordinary. What I notice happens is when we accept someone the way they are, they actually feel the freedom to step into making changes.
Right.
As long as we are criticizing someone and they go on the defensive, there is no way that they are going to have any interest in changing. It seems a little backwards, but it makes such a difference when we honor and accept someone the way that they are, and still encourage and support and accompany them in changing if they choose to.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that story. What I've seen over the last decade is that once we are able to let go and to grow, the environment around us also shifts. And that growth happens both internally and as well as the environment of the home, and the relationship shifts as well, which is a beautiful. Actually, your story illustrates that in a very beautiful way.